One of the most dangerous questions you'll be asked as an injured worker, and there are a lot of them, is how's the treatment going? Or did this treatment help you? And the answer you give can make them shut down your case like that. Hi everyone, this is Kaplan Morrell with Kaplan Morrell, Colorado law firm that has been helping injured and disabled workers and their families get the benefits they deserve for work injuries since 1997. Hey, if this video helps you understand your rights, your obligations, please hit like and subscribe. And we'd love for you to be part of our community. And with that, let's dive into it. In this video, we're going to discuss how to think about how to answer the question about whether or not treatment is helping you. And it's a critical question and a critical answer, because how you answer is going to determine what kind of medical care you're going to get, how much medical care you're going to get. And so one of the questions that injured workers get asked a lot, and in a way that it causes problems, is, has the treatment helped? Now, sometimes injured workers get very focused on certain things and not others, and they'll say the treatment didn't help at all. And if this answer continues to be the same time over time, what's going to happen is the doctors aren't going to get more interested. They're going to just throw up their hands and give up. So the first big problem is failing to report improvement, even if it's brief. In other words, not all treatment is meant to get you better forever or for a long time, etc. If an injection dropped the pain 40% for 4 days and now it's back to where it was, you need to report that change. Any change, however brief, is important to talk about, because this helps the medical providers, the doctors, narrow down the causes of the pain. Also, again, if the treatment, the injection, the pills, the whatever, cause the pain to go down just a little bit, but not a lot, still report that little bit of change. In fact, one of the problems is if an injured worker keeps saying there's no change, there's no change, there's no change, pretty soon the doctor's going to start to wonder if you really even have pain, or if this is just something where you're kind of exaggerating or you're not reporting things properly. Because if you think about it, every day is different. The weather is different. What you do is different. And all of those little things are going to make a change in your pain. They're going to make it either a little worse, a little better, etc. But it's important for you to key in on what makes your pain go up or down, even if it's brief, even if it's little. The other mistake that sometimes injured workers make is they just think about pain or reduced pain as the only sign or measurement of getting better. And there are 4 others in addition to pain. So there's 5 total. And we're going to talk about each of those other measurements that you need to start thinking of. Okay, so in addition to pain, which is a valid, completely important metric or measurement to think about, number 2 is strength. Okay, so I want you to think of it this way. Before the injury, maybe you could lift 100 pounds, no problem. After the injury, you can only lift 10. Now, what do you want from your treatment? You want your treatment to go from 10 back up to 100. So another metric or another measurement that you need to keep thinking about isn't just pain, but are you able to lift more? So after the injury, you could lift a glass of milk, but you couldn't lift a carton of milk or a gallon of milk, and now you can. You're not back to 100%. You're not back to lifting 100 pounds, but you at least went from a glass of milk to a jug of milk. That's improvement. So keep focused on and know what your strength measurements are. How much are you lifting today compared to 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? The person who's going to be in the best position to help you understand this is your physical therapist. So in addition to pain, if you can lift more, that's a sign of improvement and you should report it. Number 3, endurance. Endurance, think about endurance if you were running, right? When you first start running, maybe you can run once around the block and then you're like, your pain is up to here and you have to stop and walk. And if you keep pushing yourself and running a little more, after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you're going to be able to run 2 blocks, maybe 3 blocks before your pain goes back up to here and you have to stop and walk. Now, what's changed? Your pain level is the same. It went up to here, but it didn't get up to here until after you had run 3 blocks and before it was 1. So again, your physical therapist is going to be able to help you understand if your endurance is improving, if you're able to do more before you have to take a stop. That's great. For example, you might have to do some exercises and you need to do 12 and you can do 6 and then you have to take a break and then you do another 4 and you have to take a break and then you do the last 2 and you take a break. And if you get to the point where you can do all 12, that is a form of improvement, and that's important to keep in mind and to report. Number 4 is speed. Again, we'll use a running example. Before you could run a mile in 13 minutes, and now you can run a mile because now you're not having to take as many breaks. You can run that same mile in 11 minutes or 12 and a half minutes. Have you improved? The answer is yes, you have improved. So, in addition to pain, strength, endurance, keep in mind your speed. 4th, finally, is range of motion. Okay, so if you've injured your shoulder and before the injury you could do this, and after the injury maybe you can only lift it to here. Okay, and after 3 weeks of physical therapy, your strength is the same, your pain is the same, your endurance is the same, but you can lift your arm from here to here after 3 weeks more of physical therapy. That's an improvement, and that's important to report and to keep in mind. Because after all, if you see improvement, you're going to be motivated to do more, to push harder in physical therapy and get the treatment that you need to get back to 100%. So talk with your physical therapist. Talk with the people who are measuring these things for you. Slow and steady gains is great. And if you can't get better all at once, slow and steady, that's what you want to get back as close to 100% the way you were before. If you or a member of your family needs help with a work injury, let them know that they can get in touch with us. We're a law firm that helps clients on a contingent fee basis, and our initial consultations are free, confidential. Remember, we don't get paid unless our clients get paid. So please get the peace of mind of knowing what your rights are. And with that, thank you for spending part of your day with me.